What's up, you guys? I'm Dan. This is Frugal Not Cheap, and today we're going to go on a test drive with FSD Beta version 11.4.9. So I have just installed version 2023.44.30.6. This is a hotfix for version .4 that I had previously installed. You know, we were stuck on version 11.4.4 for a long time, and you know, during that time there were a lot of other versions of FSD Beta that were going out to the early access or original FSD Beta testing group. People like Chuck Cook and Chris the Dirty Tesla, etc., etc. And so we've been seeing, you know, some iteration and development. However, there was this bifurcation where a lot of us that were on 11.4.4 that were not part of the early access group got stuck on 11.4.4 for a long time. And then now with this holiday update, we've all been kind of converged and brought back together on 11.4.9. So that's kind of cool, and I got really excited to get back to the latest version and to be on the same version that all these people are on, especially because there are some pretty exciting things in the release notes. All right, so the big deal in the kind of latest versions of FSD Beta, these were also in 11.4.7. something, was the introduction of what they say is a new efficient video module to the vehicle detection semantics, velocity, and attributes networks that allows for increased performance at lower latency. So all of that sounds really good. Basically, it's going to be able to perform those tasks much more quickly and efficiently. And so hopefully we'll be seeing some of that in the drive. It also says they improve distant crossing object detections and improve the precision of vehicle detection, basically through use of new data in the training set. And it says it improved the precision of cut-in vehicle detection by 15%. I'm guessing this is kind of a cut-in from one lane to another, but it continues to have some problems where it thinks that a car coming in perpendicular traffic that's prepared to turn left, which would, if it made the turn, cross through our traffic, it tends to overreact to that. It also overreacts when there is a road to the right and there's a car kind of, you know, pulling up, and then they're going to stop and then allow you to go through, but the car overreacts and thinks they might continue to go forward. So hopefully it's going to improve that. It says that reduce vehicle velocity error a little bit. So I think it's just basically having a better handle on its input versus output of, you know, what the control system tells the car to do versus what it actually gets out of the car. And so, of course, aligning those two is definitely a good idea. Then it says it does a little bit of a better job with pedestrians and bicyclists as well. So that's good. Then there's some improvements to Vision Park Assist, which, you know, hey, we also got that high fidelity Park Assist, which is really cool, by the way. And then the last two notes are particularly interesting for me in terms of a safety standpoint. You know, I was kind of saying in the holiday update that unfortunately a lot of the safety stuff, the automatic 911 calls after a crash, and then all of the stop sign and traffic light additions to the navigation, those haven't filtered down to my car. However, in FSD Beta 11.4.9, what we do get here is a better detection of blocked lanes because of improvements to the static object detection networks. And then they introduced automatic emergency braking on general obstacles detected by the occupancy network. So you can see those three items, you know, about the Vision Park Assist, the path blockage, and the automatic emergency braking on general obstacles, all have to do with improvements to the occupancy network, which may have something to do with their more efficient video module. I don't know if that is something that the occupancy network ingests or how that all works, but anyway, just some speculation from someone that doesn't know any details. Okay, so those are the notes. If you notice, I've got this little warning thing over here. Basically, these older Model S's like mine, at about the 6.5-year mark, there's a fuse in the high voltage battery system that has an estimated useful life of about 8 years. It's got a battery or something, needs to be replaced. Thankfully, thank you Tesla, This year, actually very recently, they decided to cover this under warranty. Previously, the policy had not been covered under warranty, and it is a little bit expensive. I saw quotes ranging from anywhere between $300 to $600. I think the high ones might have been Canadian dollars. But anyway, not a super cheap thing to do, because I think they do need to, pull out the pack, or at least move a lot of stuff in order to get there to replace the fuse. Anyway, I've got a scheduled appointment to get that done under warranty in about 6 days from now. And they say they can do it in about 2 hours while I wait. So I'm pretty happy about that. In the meantime, it says everything else, should be normal, except it might reduce performance a little bit on the high end, possibly. But I haven't really noticed anything. Not that I'm flooring it all the time anyway. Okay, so we're trying something a little different here in terms of the camera view. I hope it's going to be good for you. One thing that's nice is it's overcast, so there might be less contrast and lighting between, the ambient, like the actual world, and then the screens over here. So we'll see how that goes. Try to keep my hands out of the way. Do apologize. I know that this is in your way a little bit in the view for the instrument cluster, but you should still be able to see the majority of it. I placed the camera kind of near my head, and we're just going to do my old FSD beta test drive, where we're going to do a mix of city and highway on the way from here in Plano up to Oak Point, which is like a little park kind of deal. I'm going to go ahead and gauge now and see how beta is going to do with this gate. And as you can see, there was a immediate windshield nag, steering wheel nag. And that is part of the NHTSA recall, which basically has increased nag frequency to make sure that we're paying attention. Normally beta has no trouble with this. I'm going to kind of move it forward a little bit here. So already one intervention that is new. It was never a problem before. Beta would always just proceed as soon as the gate was open. This time, for some reason, it waited. I don't really know why. I don't know what was going on there. And then now it was kind of playing chicken with that truck over there. And so I had to disengage already again. So we're not doing too well here on Beta's performance so far. Already 2 disengagements right off the bat. All right, but hopefully it's going to perform better. Okay, so there again, since I activated it, now we got the nag already. So hopefully now that we're, on the street, and it's going to perform better, but we shall see. Okay, so it's I think slowing fairly appropriately for all of those guys. By the way, I do have beta set on assertive. Initially I didn't like it, but as I got used to it, then I do tend to prefer it now. Alright, we definitely overreacted there a little bit. I'm not sure what was going on, but pretty minor. Alright, here we go. Part of the patch notes or release notes said that there were some improvements to the full self-driving visualization. I haven't really noticed any difference. Maybe it displays a little bit more. One thing I'm noticing this time that I didn't used to notice are those yellow lines. I'm not sure what those are intended to indicate, but it looks like it's something new for me anyway. One thing I do wish this view would show is what it perceives the speed limit to be, because when you're choosing to override the speed, it can be helpful to know what the speed limit is if maybe you missed the speed limit sign. And that's something that's showing up normally in the normal view, the sort of non-expanded FSD view. And I could toggle to that, but I thought it might be cool for you to see all the visualization stuff. And it is pretty incredible. You can see the number of objects and the kinematics and everything that it's showing. It's pretty wild. Okay, we got a green. I don't know why we're hesitating here, so I'm having to hit the accelerator again. That was really strange. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. So that's the second instance of real hesitancy that just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what's going on here with this version. So hopefully that's not going to become a pattern, more of a pattern. We'll see. Let's try the auto wipers. So right now I have them on off. I'm going to turn the wipers on. Okay, good. All right, so when we're driving anyway, it looks like the auto wipers are working. One thing that happened with this introduction of 11.4.9 and the holiday update, though, is that when I'm stopped and I turn the wiper control here to the lowest setting from 0, but to, I don't know, 1 or whatever, so that the auto wipers can engage on, if necessary, but not necessarily, then unfortunately, like, the control logic was entirely dictated by the control stock, and the auto wipers were not overriding that. In other words, I would have it on this setting, and even though it's not raining, it would turn the wipers on, which obviously is not the desired behavior. So hopefully that's fixed. While you're driving, it doesn't do it, but as soon as I hit park, it started doing that, which is kind of annoying. Now we do have a little bit of mist, but not too bad here today. So lots of Teslas. Omar was posting on X and saying that we have no idea how successful Tesla is if we're not on the West Coast. Basically California he's talking about, and I'm sure the number of sort of per number of vehicles out there that are Teslas out there, the density's really high, or the shares is quite high, but we have quite a lot here in the Dallas area, absolutely. So we're being pretty patient here. This van in front of us is only going 50 miles an hour, and of course the speed limit is 70 here. But we only have 0.4 of a mile before our exit, so I think that's fine. I'll say after we got through the since we got actually on the city streets and out of the residential, then I think it does seem to be doing a little bit better, except for that hesitancy that we saw. It just nagged me to put some torque on the wheel, probably because it's performing a maneuver. I think part of the NHTSA thing too is that it increases the checks that you're paying attention around decision points. So like at traffic signs, and stop signs, traffic lights and stop signs. All right, so here was another one where it thought the car was going to be in our lane, and actually it wasn't. So it still sometimes has a little bit of a problem telling what lane exactly a vehicle is when they're behind and to the right or behind and to the left. Kind of like in that intermediate point between the repeater cameras and the rear camera, I guess. I don't know, somewhere in there. Well, this is a bad decision. It just switched lanes for no reason. It says switch lanes away from merge, but it was the wrong decision. We got only 0.4 of a mile. So, okay, and then now it's realizing its mistake and it's moving back over. And so, yeah, that was not good. I don't know why it does that. This is what Chris, Dirty Tesla, calls the lane drift problem. And yeah, we still have that. So there seems to be, it's very repeatable. It'll be in the exact same place every time, so it must have something to do with the map data. But the map data tells the car to do something that isn't right, and the car seems to listen when it shouldn't. So hopefully Tesla can fix that. But it's been a problem really since 11. I think it really was introduced in 11.4.4. So all of the 11.4 versions have all had this lane drift problem. And then in version 11.3.6, I had a lot of problems with entry and exits, like on and off ramps to highways. That seems to be better in the 11.4 series, so at least there's an improvement there. And so far so good on the auto wipers as well while we're driving. So this is good to see also. Here we go. All right, that was nice and smooth. That was pretty good. I do notice beta is a little bit hesitant when you're taking a left, if you're taking a turn and there's a car kind of right up your butt. It does, instead of going faster, which would be appropriate in that scenario, it tends to go slower and be more hesitant, which is the wrong thing. So I mentioned this pretty much in every single one of my videos, and I'll try to only say it one more time, but oftentimes being overly cautious is more dangerous. And so that's an issue that we have here with beta. But of course we can remedy that with judicious use of the accelerator pedal, taking over if we have to. Yeah, again, it's doing a lane change and it asked me to put some torque on the wheel. It could have been just coincidence and timing, but I don't think so. All right, so far so good. And I think this is the appropriate left turn lane to be in because, after a little while we're going to have a right-hand turn. So I think that makes good sense. Not sure how much you can see of the nav, so I'll just kind of push that up here for a minute for you so you can get a better idea. Of course, it'll move back. Ooh, that's a little tight there. A little tight there with the vehicle, but it was okay. All right, smooth turn though. I was happy with that. Yeah, so if there's something that, we can summarize from my experience for version, really what happened in 2023 with full self-driving, the major development, of course, was the addition of the highways as an operational domain for full self-driving. Before you had two separate networks, so you'd have full self-driving on city streets, and then it would shift over to the old school autopilot network when we were on the highway. So this year we got the move to, in version 11, hopefully it's going to move over. Yeah, here it is, but really late. I don't know why it has to do that quite so much at the last minute. I do wish it would do that sooner. And then that was very not smooth. Like we went all the way down to 20 miles an hour there, and we could have, easily continued at a smoother pace. Up here again, we have an unnecessary change into the left lane, because again, it's screwed. I see what's going on here. So that was actually our turn. So we had a failure there. I don't exactly know what's going on now. It wants me to take a U-turn, so I'm going to take over because it says unable to complete maneuver. Because, beta can't do U-turns. So, geez, guys, I wasn't paying attention there. So we'll re-engage here. And then, I don't know what's going on. She's going at 14 miles an hour for no reason. So we're just going to hit the accelerator here a little bit again. Very strange behavior here. Very strange behavior. All right, so we got this turn coming up. Okay, I see. So that's why we missed the turn, is it was kind of freaking out about this whole thing here. All right, that's fair. Construction, still the vein of FSD beta, absolutely. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I guess it thought the road was, I'm not really sure. Anyway, it definitely missed the turn. The construction threw it off. But, we can't really make all these excuses for beta. It should be able to handle change, right? That's one of the main benefits to the philosophy that Tesla's taking here, where all of the, it's not using, relying on HD maps, and it's kind of doing stuff on its own. That was an odd slowdown. I don't know why it slowed down quite so much. And then here it's in the middle of the road. I mean, what are you doing, beta? Okay. It thinks this is the end point. All right. Okay. So, what can we say for that drive? Not a good start in the residential. Weird hesitancy off the line twice. I don't know why. And construction tripped it up and it wasn't able to make that right-hand turn because of it. Yeah, here we go. That was me activating the wipers. Look, well, let's go ahead and activate it now. No. Yeah, it's doing this thing where it hogs the middle of the road when there's no actual painted line. But even that crease in the concrete, serves as a pretty good line, and that's not good behavior, Tesla. You got to get that fixed. So, yeah, these roads, not good behavior. All right, but let me stop and engage. And safe to clear. We're clear. Come on. All right, here we go. So again, this hesitancy off the line. I don't know what's going on there. That could get dangerous. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. I did not have that behavior when 11.4.9 was first installed. This is new since this hotfix release. Okay, we definitely have to creep here a little bit. Oh, she just went for it. How do I feel about that? I don't know. I mean, I could see that it was clear. I don't know that the car could see that it was clear. So that worries me a little bit. It all worked out, but I am concerned whether or not she was able to see using the B-pillar cameras. Maybe so. Maybe it's better now and it can see further. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're worked out. So for now, we'll just kind of give it the pass with an asterisk, I'd say. Okay, we got the green, no cars, should be nice and smooth. Nope, I had to hit the accelerator there. I don't know what it's doing. There was a car approaching us rapidly and it hesitated, and it's exactly the wrong thing to do. So I had to hit the accelerator pedal to complete the maneuver at a smooth rate. So Tesla, you gotta fix that. That was no good. Okay, well, this guy's all over the place. Probably just doesn't know where he wants to go, and he's figuring it out. That's all right. Using turn signals, so this is good. Man, look at all those cars in the visualization. It's crazy. It may be rendering more. Maybe they did improve that. I'm not sure. You can also see the brake lights on vehicles, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, that was just a simple right turn in a right turn only lane with a green light. I mean, it should have done that just nice and smoothly. I have no, yeah, that's pretty poor. Whoa, okay. I'm not sure what that was about. A little bit of a whipple wobble there. Maybe it's the van in front of us it was worried about. I don't know, but that was uncomfortable for sure. Now it's having a little hard time deciding which lane it wants to be in. And now that it's decided, it is not creeping forward enough for my liking. Yep, there we go. We don't want to be hogging all this much room. The stopping distance behind vehicles, it doesn't dynamically change that depending on the situation. More unnecessary slowdowns, hitting the accelerator again here. Yeah, it's just way too cautious. The guy behind us is right on our butts. I'm not liking this. Alright, let's see how we do on the merge. I didn't think about that on our way up, actually. But, oh, it's slowing down? Yeah, I don't know. Alright, we're gonna make it, but just barely, as you can see by the white line there. And, yeah, it chose to slow down instead of speed up, which I think in that particular situation we're in, speeding up would have been like the less, I don't know, the smaller change to make rather than slowing down quite so much as it did. So sort of the less disruptive to the flow of traffic thing to do would have been to speed up. And so again, it continues to make what you might consider the more conservative choice, which is in many situations though more dangerous. Alright, so we're going 50 and a 70, 1.4 miles to go, so I guess I'm okay with that. But, you know, if it were me driving, I would have gotten over at least one lane, if not two. But at the same time, bait is very, very, I don't want to say very, very bad, but it's not good at getting over multiple lanes with a short deadline. So it's probably better if it gives itself more time. Again, it comes down to that timidity that other drivers will simply abuse that and not let you over. So it's really only the really conscientious drivers that it's able to have yield to it, but most drivers don't unless they're forced to. And so yeah, the timidity again was a problem there too. Okay. So it would have been better to have been one lane over so that we could have passed this merge and then moved over. Because we're actually contributing to traffic here by not having done that. So that was a poor choice. Yeah, see, yet more merging. So we really should not have been in this lane. We moved over way too early. Oh wow, people are so aggressive. Man. I'll be really happy when all cars are self-driving, because people, ugh, yeah. It's just ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, I still want to go out to the track and manually drive and have some fun. But, you know, for the majority of it, it'd be much safer, much safer if humans weren't doing it. Okay, we gotta get over. Come on. Alright, good. We used to have a problem here where we'd end up going straight instead of taking the right turn as it should. And it looks like we're doing better now. And yeah, it did a good job of getting over when it needed to. Ooh, bit of a sharp stop there, but it was necessary, I think. Maybe someone pulled out in front of somebody, or who knows what happened, but that was fine. So you can see here again, the amount of distance it leaves between you and the vehicle up front from you is really too long. It's almost an entire car length. And yeah. And here it's fine, but in a lot of situations, like when you're going into a turn lane or something like that and your butt's sticking out, it's no good. And FSD doesn't seem to think about that at all. Perfectly happy just to keep its butt hanging out in the other lane and blocking traffic, so not a good behavior. Another bad behavior I've noticed recently is we have a lot of these unprotected left turns with the yellow blinking arrow, and Beta does creep out into the intersection to try to make that turn. But if you've got another car in front of you that's also doing the same thing, after a while it decides that that car is parked or something, I don't know, and it's been giving up and bailing and and going back into the other lane and then going straight, and then that would miss the turn. So I've actually had to go in and take over and disengage in those instances to complete the left turn. So that's another undesirable behavior that I've noticed here. Not just with 11.4.9, I had that in 11.4.4 as well, but I was hoping that would get better. On a positive side, they removed the cones. They didn't finish the construction, but they did remove the cones here, so we are now able to take this left turn. And so it's nice that Beta can at least complete the drive for us nicely here. So we're gonna have to wait for this truck. And I would have probably, well, okay. Oh, he had his right turn signal. All right, that wasn't too bad. Fairly smooth. Not bad. Okay, so yeah, as soon as I hit park, the wipers start coming on. So they have made a mistake, a glitch in the latest software update, where the auto wiper sort of override only engages when you're driving and not when you're parked. And so yeah, they need to fix that, because I don't want to have to turn my wipers on and off every single time that I'm parked. Hopefully what that means is that I'll engage when necessary, even when they're on the off position here on this control stalk. I'm not sure. We'll just have to see. All right, guys, there you have it. That's our test drive with FSD Beta version 11.4.9. To summarize, I'd say it is smoother. That's really kind of the main benefit that we've seen with the 11.4 branch is increased smoothness for the most part, except for the certain situations where, it still has a lot of this hesitancy. So this would be in, again, taking turns when you have a car right on your butt. It unfortunately does the wrong thing and slows down instead of moving faster. And then we had this weird initial kind of hesitancy in our drive today here that I hadn't seen before, so that wasn't really good. So the two big improvements that we saw this year were single stack FSD Beta on highway, and it does a very good job of moving on highway and even offsetting in the lane to allow more room for large vehicles like semis. And then increased smoothness as well, as we talked about. But on the downside, there really hasn't been really major improvements in other domains, and we've had steps backs in others too, like this thing with the wipers and some sort of phantom braking, but basically overreacting to situations, and then also the lane drift thing, and yada yada yada. So anyway, the big hope though is that we're going to see a major step change when the version 12 of the FSD Beta software is released. And again, if you don't know what that's going to be, is basically right now most of the control stuff. So most of the perception stuff is done by neural nets, but then there's a control stack that's done mostly in heuristics and C++. And so the goal is to replace all of that with neural nets. So again, it's not like in and out one sort of blank giant neural net deal. They still have a lot of the architecture and neural nets that they've been developing and improving over time. So it's not like they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater or like completely starting from scratch at all here, okay? But the hope is that this is really going to improve performance a whole lot and make it much more human-like. So fingers crossed for that. Maybe 2024 will be the year that we see some really crazy major improvements. But at the same time, let's take a step back here and say that yes, I had to help the car make a U-turn because it missed a turn, and I had to disengage here in my parking lot because it was being kind of weird for some reason. I don't know what was going on there, but basically, you know, it does really it does about 98% of the driving for me. There's that 2% of time where it's just not able to handle situations and I have to jump in, but 98% of the mileage, right, the amount of time that we're on the drive, it's able to handle it and do a really good job of it. And yeah, I don't know if I could go back to a car that doesn't have this feature, man. It's really, really awesome. So with that, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.